Urban farms are popping up in abandoned warehouses and rooftops across major cities, but the math doesn't add up the way you'd think. Here's the thing: vertical farming looks like the future. Rows of LED lights, stacked crops, climate control, all within walking distance of a grocery store. But when you actually look at the costs, something strange happens. A pound of lettuce from a vertical farm in New York can cost 3 to 4 times what it costs at a supermarket. So why does anyone bother? Exhibit 1. It's not about being cheaper right now. It's about what happens when you factor in land value. In dense cities, a square foot of land costs real money. In Manhattan, it's hundreds of dollars per year. A traditional farm needs acres. A vertical farm stacks production in a building that's already paid for or rented at a fraction of what that land would cost if spread horizontally. The economics flip. You're not competing on crop price, you're competing on real estate efficiency. Exhibit 2. Energy costs are brutal. Vertical farms use artificial light because sunlight doesn't penetrate deep into stacked rows. LED technology has gotten cheaper, but powering thousands of lights 16 hours a day still eats into margins. In cities with expensive electricity, California, parts of the Northeast, that bill can rival or exceed labor costs. This is why vertical farms cluster where power is cheapest or renewable energy is abundant. Exhibit 3. Water. Traditional farms flood fields and lose a lot to evaporation and runoff. Vertical farms use hydroponic or aeroponic systems. Water cycles through roots and gets recycled. In drought-prone regions, that's a huge advantage, but the systems need constant monitoring and maintenance. One power failure, one sensor glitch, and your entire crop dies in days. That's risk traditional farming doesn't face the same way. So who actually makes this work? Mostly wealthy cities and investors betting on future scarcity. Singapore, where land is impossibly expensive and food security is a national concern, has government-backed vertical farms. In the US, they tend to cluster near high-income neighborhoods or in cities with tax incentives. The crop, usually herbs, leafy greens, berries, things that spoil fast and have high retail markups. The real story isn't whether vertical farms replace traditional agriculture. They won't, at least not soon. It's that in expensive cities where land is scarce and transportation costs matter, growing food indoors becomes economically rational for specific crops. It's a solution to a city problem, not a global food problem. The economics work because cities are expensive and vertical farms exploit that constraint. What we're really watching is how cities solve the cost of living problem. As land gets more expensive, landlords and entrepreneurs find ways to use space more intensively. Vertical farms are one answer. The question isn't whether they're the future of food. It's whether dense cities will keep getting denser and whether land prices will keep climbing. That's where the real economics live. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into how economics shapes the cities we live in. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.